The Buffalo Bills just shook the entire league with a move nobody saw coming. After weeks of searching for a true outside threat to stabilize their passing attack, Buffalo finally pulled the trigger on a signing that changes everything, not just for their offense, not just for Keon Coleman's development, but for the direction of this entire season. A veteran wideout with 6 1,000-yard campaigns and more than 60 career touchdowns is now on his way to Orchard Park. This isn't a depth signing. This isn't a gamble. This is a proven, dangerous boundary receiver stepping into a situation where the Bills desperately needed exactly that. And before we dive any deeper into this massive addition, make sure you subscribe, drop a like, and hit the bell icon so you never miss breaking Buffalo Bills updates. Before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news. Now, back to the firestorm this move just created. For weeks, fans have been begging for help outside the numbers, someone who can stretch the field, someone who can force defenses to respect the deep ball again. Buffalo tried to patch the issue earlier by bringing up Mecole Hardman, who instantly added some spark before going down with an injury. But that wasn't enough. They needed experience. They needed production. They needed someone defensive coordinators have to plan around. And the moment Brandon Cooks hit the market after being released and clearing waivers, the Bills saw the opportunity. They didn't hesitate. They didn't wait to see who else would enter the mix. They moved. This signing is about stability, explosiveness, and giving Josh Allen the weapon he's been missing on the perimeter. And with the AFC race tightening every single week, the timing could not be better. The Bills' offense hit a wall the moment their temporary spark vanished. With injuries piling up and the passing game stuck in neutral, Buffalo managed only 19 points, and one of their touchdowns didn't even come from the offense. That kind of stagnation made it clear, this team needed a proven playmaker on the boundary, someone who could force defenses to back off and open the field for Josh Allen again. That's why the idea of Brandon Cooks immediately caught fire among Bills fans. His resume speaks for itself: consistent production, legitimate deep threat speed, and a history of elevating every offense he joins. Whenever Cooks arrives in a new city, he delivers. Touchdowns, chunk plays, explosive moments, he's built his entire career on them. As soon as he was released and cleared waivers, league insiders began connecting him to a handful of teams. Early reports suggested his preferred landing spots narrowed to 3, the Broncos, the Rams, and the Bills. But once Denver was ruled out, all eyes shifted to a 2-team race, a familiar home in Los Angeles or a fresh opportunity in Buffalo. And that's when the fan debate truly heated up. Some in Bills Mafia immediately wanted the front office to make the move. Others held back, wondering whether a 32-year-old receiver still had enough left to change an offense stuck in the mud. After all, his usage in New Orleans had dipped, and their quarterback play only made things look worse. Still, those who watched closely knew the situation wasn't about talent. It was about circumstance. What stood out most was Cook's determination to take control of his future. He gave up guaranteed money simply to accelerate the process and get himself onto a team where he could contribute right away. That level of urgency, and confidence, is exactly what Buffalo needed in a veteran receiver. Brandon Cooks didn't give up guaranteed money without a purpose, and now we know exactly why. His gamble paid off, and the payoff is massive for Buffalo. Moments ago, the news finally broke. The Buffalo Bills are signing Brandon Cooks to the active roster, and there's a very real chance he suits up as early as this Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is the kind of move that instantly changes the complexion of an offense. Buffalo isn't just adding a veteran. They're adding a polished route runner with legitimate downfield speed, someone who can step in immediately and command defensive attention. The last time the Bills made a move like this was when they brought in Emmanuel Sanders, a player who added stability, savvy, and a reliable deep presence. But Cooks brings something more. Where Sanders excelled late in his career, Cooks has built an even stronger legacy. He's been a primary weapon in multiple offenses, he's thrived with several top-tier quarterbacks, and he's produced at a level few receivers achieve over an entire decade. His resume speaks for itself: consistency, explosiveness, and a reputation for elevating every passing attack he joins. This isn't a minor depth addition. This is a statement. Buffalo needed experience, production, and a perimeter threat who could step in without hesitation, and they got exactly that. With Cooks now in the building, the Bills' passing game suddenly has a new dimension, and the balance of their offense looks dramatically different heading into a crucial stretch of the season. Brandon Cooks arrives in Buffalo with a career resume that speaks louder than any introduction. 6 seasons over the 1,000-yard mark, nearly a decade of steady production, and a stat line that now flirts with the rare 10,000-yard benchmark. If he finds his rhythm in Buffalo, that milestone isn't just possible, it's within reach. What makes Cooks even more intriguing for the Bills is the path he took to get here. He's produced everywhere he's been: New Orleans, New England, Los Angeles, Houston, Dallas. Every stop brought a new system, a new coach, a new quarterback, and the same result: Cooks making plays. Few receivers adapt as quickly or as consistently, and Buffalo is banking on that trait paying off again. 60 touchdowns, first-round pedigree, and speed that still demands respect at 32 years old. The nickname, the Archer, didn't come out of nowhere. He's built a career on striking deep down the field. Some may look at his age and shrug. But here's the reality: Buffalo isn't asking him to carry the entire offense. They're asking him to do what he's always done: win outside, stretch the field, punish safeties who cheat up, and give Josh Allen a reliable veteran who understands spacing, timing, and leverage at an elite level. For a team that desperately needed experience and explosiveness, Cooks doesn't just help the Bills, he changes the way defenses will play them. Even in his most recent season with Dallas, Brandon Cooks proved he can still produce at a competitive level. Once Dak Prescott returned, Cooks found his rhythm, grabbing 8 touchdowns and pushing towards 700 yards, numbers that easily outshine what Buffalo has gotten from its boundary receivers this year. That alone makes this signing more than just depth, it makes it meaningful. But his value goes beyond statistics. Cooks brings the kind of experience that young receivers thrive around. Players like Keon Coleman can learn from his understanding of spacing, how he reads zone windows, and the way he manipulates leverage down the field. Buffalo has needed a veteran who can stretch defenses vertically and force safeties to stay honest. Cooks still provides that threat, and defenses know it. We already saw how Mecole Hardman briefly lifted the offense before going down. Now imagine that role being filled by a far more polished, far more complete receiver. That's what Cooks brings: someone who can win the boundary, create separation, and instantly earn Josh Allen's trust. Some may want to dismiss the move because of age, but the tape doesn't lie. Cooks remains more refined and more reliable than several of the options currently on the roster. He offers traits that Gabe Davis, Hardman, and even Coleman are still inconsistent with. That's why this signing matters. Buffalo finally adds a veteran who can stabilize the outside and give the offense a new edge. The Bills needed someone who could help immediately. They got someone who has been helping offenses succeed for a decade.